So maybe you're deciding which of Apple's wireless in-ear buds to choose between, whether to go with the cheapest option or to splurge for the most expensive for $120 retail price more. Or maybe you currently own the AirPods first or second generation, not the Pro model, and are wondering if now is the time to get the AirPod Pros, the second generation. I have already done unboxing and comprehensive review videos on both of them individually, so definitely check out my channel. But since this video will be an in-depth comparison between the AirPods Pro 2 and the AirPods first generation based on my personal experience, feel free to use the chapter markers on this video if you want to skip around. So first off, let's talk about the differences between AirPods 1 and 2 because they're so similar, I might as well group them together in this video. So the first generation had the W1 chip versus the H1 chip for the second generation. What that basically allowed the second gens to do is to use Hey Siri to activate Siri with your voice. The second gens also have a little bit lower latency and a little bit better battery life than the first gen, but honestly I think that's a little bit negligible. In terms of Bluetooth, AirPods 1 came with 4.0, AirPods 2 came with 5.0. Also announced with the AirPods second generation was the option to buy the wireless charging case separately. So if you just had the AirPods first gen and you just wanted to get a wireless charging case, you can opt to do so for $79. So now you know the itty-bitty differences between AirPods 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and get back to the main program, which is comparing the AirPods Pro second gen with AirPods 1 or 2. Starting firstly with the unboxing. Now I have done individual unboxing videos for both of these, so definitely check out my channel if you want to see how they look like brand new. But just taking a quick look at the size comparison with the cases, you can see the AirPods Pro is significantly thicker, but the overall height and width is about the same as the regular AirPods. And you can see that the images are embossed on both of them, showing the pretty much true to scale of what they look like, and also their case on the back. On the sides, they say clearly what they are. They don't say the generation though, but they also have the silver Apple logos on either side. Lifting away the covers, which lift away very smoothly, we reveal the paperwork. Both say designed by Apple in California. The envelope in the AirPods Pro just has the quick start guide, some warranty information, regulatory stuff, and 4 pieces of paper. The AirPods first gen here has pretty much the same thing, but it contains it all in 3 pieces of paper. Then reveals the AirPods in their respective cases, wrapped in their proverbial plastic diapers. Underneath the dividers, you'll find the charging cables. So on the original AirPods 1, and perhaps even the AirPods 2, it came with a Lightning to full USB-A port, whereas the AirPods Pro 2, you can see the cable is now Lightning to USB Type-C. Both are still about 1 meter long though. And that's all that's included for the AirPods first or second gen. But then the AirPods Pro 2 here have the additional ear tips. So they come with 3 additional sized ear tips. Extra small, small, medium, and large. Medium already on the earbuds themselves. Now let's move on to the design and the fit. So the earbuds themselves, again, only come in only one color, which is that Apple optical white. And the AirPods first or second gen have a one size fits most because it has no ear tips. The Pros, on the other hand, do have ear tips, 4 different size ear tips, in fact, to choose from extra small to large. And although technically you don't have to use the ear tips to have them fit in your ears for the Pros, obviously having the ear tips allow you to make the most of the noise cancellation feature. So with the option of interchangeable ear tips, I would think that the AirPods Pro would fit most people more. I know there are some people who just simply cannot wear the AirPods 1 or 2 because that particular shape just falls out of their ears all the time. But if you're unsure, feel free to just walk into an Apple store to try them out for yourself. Further along the earbuds, the stems, you can see that the first gen or second gen are visibly much longer than the AirPod Pros 2s, and they also have completely different functionality, and I'll get more into that later on in this video. But now talking about their charging cases, since they are truly wireless earbuds, they have to charge via these cases. And both cases are able to be charged via Lightning. And they also have this one button on the back which sits very flush against the casing for pairing. And the statuses of pairing or charging or battery life can be seen with this single LED that changes colors. Inside the case has very nicely aligned magnets that help you snap your earbuds right back into place. And it has a very snappy metal hinge that closes in a very satisfying way. Exterior wise, it's still the same super scratchable outer white plastic. So that is what they have in common. As for differences, AirPods 1 and 2 have a slightly overall smaller and lighter case, and the LED indicator is on the inside if you don't have the wireless charging model, whereas the Pros overall has a bigger size and it's also heavier, hosting a bigger battery, but the LED indicator is now on the outside, much easier to see. And here on the side are some holes that you can loop in a lanyard, and also speakers on the bottom, which are really useful for letting you know when the case's battery is low, when it starts charging, and also finding them with Find My. A little bit more on that a little bit later. And additionally, they have magnets for MagSafe wireless charging, so easy alignment there. But it also can charge wirelessly with non-MagSafe wireless chargers like Qi wireless chargers. Now let's talk about the features. So the Pros obviously pack in a lot more features, but let's talk about first what they have in common. Namely, they do have some way of controlling your music. Both will pause your music if you remove an earbud from your ear, and it has near seamless pairing with Apple devices and between Apple devices, which is a huge selling point for these AirPods. But they're also both missing manually customizable EQ settings and true two-point connections. Now for controlling your music and picking up phone calls, this is where the AirPod Pros 2 really shine. It has a full range of functionality, including swiping up and down for volume control, presses for Paul Plays pick up and drop phone calls, double pressing for skipping, triple pressing for previous track, force press mappable for either Siri or noise cancellation level, and all of these things can be accessible with even gloves on. On the flip side, the AirPods first and second gens only have the bare bones double tap on either of the earbuds, so you can only have basically two functionality if you have a different function on the right ear versus the left ear. Also, a huge upgrade with the Pros 2 is the Find My feature. The Pros 2's case can be tracked separately from the earbuds themselves, and because of the speakers built into the case, you can also track it audibly. For a full demonstration of this, definitely check out my full review on the AirPod Pro 2nd generation. Though not perfect, but it definitely has a lot more capability than the first or second gen AirPods. Additional features that the AirPods 2 offer that justify the additional cost include, of course, its excellent active noise canceling, its adaptive transparency mode so you can hear the sound around you without having to remove the earbuds from your ears, spatial audio with head tracking, which was very impressive when I was watching movies, as well as being sweat and water resistant at IPX4. Though technically the regular AirPods 1 and 2 were also pretty good with sweat, it was just not actually rated for it. Now let's talk about the sound and mic quality. So no surprise here, the Pros hands down has much better sound quality. There's a clear distinction between the voices and the sounds, and because of the nice sound isolation with the earbuds, I'm able to listen at a much lower volume compared to the AirPods first or second gen, which sound pretty tinny, and I have to crank up the volume a lot to hear it at the same level as the Pros. But both of them unfortunately could use a deeper bass and clearer mids. Now let's go ahead and do some mic tests. Okay, just slipped my phone into my pocket, making sure that the microphone is actually going to be my AirPods Pro 2. I'm currently in a very quiet environment. How does my voice sound? And here's a bonus whistle. Okay, so I am now testing the microphone quality on the AirPods first generation, just to have the same mic on the second generation as well. What do you guys think about my voice coming through this microphone? And now here's that whistle. So now my voice is being picked up by the microphone in the AirPods Pro, and still in the same noisy environment, so it allows me to play in the background with people chattering around me. How does it sound? So I think it does a pretty good job of kind of doing its best of blowing out the background noise. Maybe there's a little bit of things seeping in here and there, but I think my voice is coming through okay.
and maybe it sounds a little bit like I'm under the water. But overall, I think the microphone quality is pretty good in the AirPods Pros. But what do you guys think? Okay, so now I have my AirPods first generation in, same location, same noisy background. How does my voice sound coming through these? They have a longer stem, so I do believe that the microphone quality could be a little bit better. But what do you guys think?
Moving on to the battery life. On Apple's website, the AirPods are listed to have 5 hours on one charge and 24 hours with the case. You can do a 15-minute charge with the case, and it will last up to 3 hours on just those 15 minutes. The pros on the hand, the spec sheet says 6 hours on one charge, 30 hours with the case, and 5 minutes in the case will provide up to 1 hour. So the quick charge feature is pretty much the same between the two. And while I agree that the Pro's earbuds last much longer than the regular AirPods, but I can't really agree with the case's battery life because they literally show the battery percentage all the time, and it also has to do with Find My. You can check out my full review of me explaining the reason why I think the AirPods Pro is suffering in terms of its case battery life. But for real world use, I did find that the regular AirPods are able to get recharged more times with the case than the Pros, just because the batteries in the earbuds themselves are less, but the regular AirPods in the case also have better standby time than the Pros. Of course, batteries will degrade over time if they are constantly being charged, but the Pros do have additional software built into them to help limit that cycling. So I do have high hopes that over time, maybe with more software updates, that the Pro's battery life, including its case battery life, can be improved. Now let's talk about the price. So these are the prices as of early 2023. You can still buy the AirPods second generation at $129 retail, and you can also buy the wireless charging case at $79. But if you're going to get the wireless charging case too, you might as well just spring for the AirPods third generation. The AirPods Pro 2 are retail price at $249. Of course, you can find much cheaper prices at places like Amazon, so I'll put the links in the description for you guys to check that out. Listed on the screen right now is just a summary of what I think each of them have their pros and cons in terms of features and functionality. Of course, if you want all the nitty-gritty details, I'll put the links also in the description to Apple's website, where you can also deep dive into which models they are compatible with. But in summary, if you just want an open listening experience, you don't want to fuss with any ear tips, and you want to be able to hear the surroundings all the time, even when it's very quiet, then the one size fits most approach with the AirPods first or second gen is good for you, and is obviously the most affordable AirPods at an entry level price of $129 retail. AirPods Pro 2, on the other hand, is super feature packed. It has that awesome noise canceling feature and also active transparency mode. It's pretty much good in every situation. You can use it when working out, studying, and I even find it comfortable enough for me to use when I'm sleeping. And it really has been a game changer in my daily life when I'm trying to work in a noisy environment, and I no longer have to carry around my big overhead earphones that used to be the Bose QC35s. I just have to carry on these tiny little AirPod Pros with me everywhere. So for me, I think the extra money spent on the AirPods Pro is well worth it. I can use it in more environments than I could have with the AirPods first and second gen, and still even more than if I had purchased the AirPods third gen. But whichever you choose, I'll have the links in the description for you guys to check out. Hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.